Hey everyone, today we are doing LinkedIn content farmer, or let's say a self-evolving LinkedIn content farming brain. And this is essentially inspired by this guy, Brad AI, who did one for YouTube, where he was automatically scraping content. He had a YouTube watch video skill that he was giving away. And then he's also giving away a Build Wiki skill in here, which is actually the basis for this. But there are a number of Kapafi Build Wiki skills out there, Wiki Builder skills, which you can search into. But this is the one I'm using for this particular content brain, as it seems to suit. It's the same idea, but just using LinkedIn content. You could probably do this for Instagram. You could do this for Facebook. You can do it for any of the tools out there that you want, or any of the platforms. It is really up to you how you go about implementing this. But the one today I'm going to be looking to or showing you guys is the LinkedIn one. Now, obviously, I've got this built with good old Claude Design. If you haven't been using it yet, I would highly recommend. Fantastic for generating content or handouts. And so anyway, I've been running this for the last, let's say, month now, and there are a few different variations of how it's been building out. This is the one that I built for LinkedIn. It also has YouTube content in here as well. So it's doing both, all the content. You can see it's all in here, and it's breaking it out into these 4 areas because these are the 4 areas that I mostly focus in. And every single one of my clients has one of these. And what this allows me to do is essentially automatically have content ideas that are working for each of my individual clients' niches in a self-evolving manner on a weekly basis. So I can go into Claude Code and I can basically be like, what are the top trends and tactics that are happening within any given area or within the market that are within the client base that I'm looking into, and it'll pull that. So here, if I scroll up, I asked this earlier, and here you can see these are the, let's say, the tactics that people are using across LinkedIn and the engagement they're getting, the reach, what type of story they're using. And obviously it breaks it down even further. It has all the other information that it needs. And then of course, you can then see into what are the one-liners, what are the people using. So then I got it down further, and here I've asked it to give me what are the hooks that people are using for each individual type of tactic. What do people use to capture the attention of others, be it rage baiting or creating attention in another manner, be it a self-evolving story. There's all of these. Anyway, let's have a cup of coffee. And I forgot to pour this out beforehand. And let's get into it, because this is actually really exciting. I'm really excited to share this. So the one thing that, let's say, Brad did that I've made, let's say, transformed to be slightly different is I made it so that this runs automatically without you having to manually remind yourself to do it. It does it every 6 hours, or how often you want to set it to. And it goes straight. It runs every 6 hours. It grabs the posts, analyzes them for feedback, understands the tactics, hooks, claims, and then commits them obviously to a GitHub repository. And this means that you don't have to remind yourself to be constantly checking the content, pulling the content. If you just want to see who someone's content is, you don't even have to go onto LinkedIn anymore, or whichever platform you're using this for. You just go onto Claude Code and ask it, what is X, Y, and Z's content creator doing this week? What content are they posting about? What are they talking about? What are the main trends that seem to be catching the interest? And how can you take advantage of those trends and jump onto them, as many people do anyway, and just automatically just filtering that straight into your own wiki brain. So the way this works, it essentially monitors a list of profiles. So you'll select the number of creators you want. In this one, I've got 8 creators, for example. It's using Unipile. We're then using Groq Llama because it's essentially free. to use right now. So it's almost like, why not just use this if it's essentially free to do? And then it'll, of course, download them, and then it will index them, and then it will create a summary for them. Obviously, there are certain things that you need to have in advance to be able to do this. And I am planning to actually launch this on the link angler tool as well as a future, let's say a future feature, so that you can just use link angler to do this. But if you want to build this yourself, you need Unipile or another form of scraping LinkedIn post, whichever method that is, you need to have that. You need a Groq API key. You can use another model if you want. If you've got other models that you prefer to use in this case and you don't care about the cost, go for it. But obviously, as mentioned, this is pretty much free right now, which is why I'm using it. N8N, that's what we're running this system on. Obviously GitHub, and then Claude Code to then build this system out. And so the first step is you're going to actually want to go and get your Build Wiki skill from this video here. So you're going to go to this guy, go to this video and get the free skill. I think you just have to subscribe to his newsletter. He hasn't sent me any emails yet, so I won't worry about it. And yeah, 100% worth it. I've used it in numerous cases now. Once you've got that skill and you've added it to your Claude Code, you'll pretty much be able to build it at any given time. So here you can see I've just done it recently for, let's move it over. I've just done it recently for my link angler tools to see what the brain would look like for that. And so here you can see this is what the brain looks like for my link angler application. Obviously, I've been doing this for many more months now, almost over half a year now. And so it's a far more complex map than the content map. Once you've got the Build Wiki skill going, you then need to look into the architecture of building the workflow itself. Now, honestly, I'm going to be providing this handout for free. You can download it. I'll put the link down there. And if you just feed this to your Claude Code instance, it'll probably be able to build this. It's got everything in here you can see. Understand, and it'll give the raw context of exactly what it needs to, or how to build this N8N workflow. But again, you can also build it from scratch as well. And as to why I decided to implement it on N8N rather than through, let's say, you can do Claude Code work and set up a schedule in there, is that I'm often moving around. I don't have my computer on all the time. And therefore, it makes sense for me to have it running on N8N. And I'm actually going to do a video on if N8N is dead, I think, as well. Because I think there's a lot of use cases where it is still viable and can be used alongside Claude Code to effectively automate a lot of your operations. And meaning you don't have to have a computer running 24/7, which just isn't feasible for a lot of people, especially if you're running a lot of operations from like a laptop like I am. And again, you're going to be working in different places. I mean, you maybe just don't want to leave your laptop on for whatever reason. And we have VPSs and we have other systems set up for that reason. I'll take you through what each of the N8N system does. And so obviously I've got a webhook, but also I've got it set to go off every 6 hours. So here we've got the watch list. And so this is essentially all of the profiles. And so that's something you would change personally towards yourself. I've got a number of the lookbacks, number per post. I've got my Unipile details, obviously, my LinkedIn account, the Groq model, yada, yada. It's all the standard stuff. So that's all there. It's then flattening the URLs. So you can pretty much just copy and paste this all here if you want. I'm getting the profile information, extracting the ID. So this is all basic Unipile functions here. So this would change depending on which, like if you were doing it for Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, obviously these would change. I'm then getting the posts. So this is extracting the posts and then filtering them to the most recent ones. So this is a basic filter node. There may be a better way to do this, but again, I just got Claude Code to make this. And so if it works, and then it's got a loop. So it's looping through each person because obviously if it was to do all of them at once, it wouldn't really be able to, especially with Groq, it wouldn't be able to synthesize them in the best manner. So essentially it's throwing each of them through Groq once. You can see here it's got the prompt that has been fed into Groq, and then it's being formatted. So then there's into Markdown, and then it's being committed to my repo. And so it's pretty straightforward in how it works. But beneath this, obviously, it's not just getting what is the content itself, it's also getting reactions, it's getting engagement, it's getting all the different intricacies of what's going on within the post itself to then understand exactly how it's been beneficial. Now, some of them, like LinkedIn content creators, you may look at their engagement and be like, okay, that's a really good person. And then you look into what their business model is, and you may decide actually it's not relevant or beneficial for them to be in my content thing, because their business model is essentially creating engagement whereby you sign up to their group and everyone engages on each other. So let's say a pod of sorts. So you want to watch out for people that are in pods. It's kind of hard to identify them sometimes, but I think otherwise it's normally fairly obvious. If anyone's getting hundreds of likes per post, they are 100% in some sort of community where they're all engaging on each other's stuff for the benefit of everyone else, or benefit of everyone in that group. Obviously, yes, you can get Claude Code to update at any given time. If you want to add a profile, remove a profile, it's very easy to ask it to do that once it's been built. You can obviously also just go into the NAM workflow itself and just do it here if you prefer. It's up to you. And essentially what you're going to need me to do is, if you're not already, you're going to go to Unipile, sign up to Unipile and get your API. You'll then go to Groq. Dashboard. Let's find out what's been going over the last 7 days. So you can see that this is what's been happening over the last 7 days on mine. There you go. You go to Groq, usage, cost, total spend, 22 pence over the last, since I've been using it. So effectively free. Now, I will be providing this workflow as well. It will also be in the download on NAN. If you've previously purchased my NAN LinkedIn automation tool, which is now a bit outdated, but that's because so much has happened since that was made. So I'll be providing this for free for everyone who wants it, and I'll be sending out an email to those who have already purchased. There may be some issues that come up in your thing, but thankfully I've got them all here. These ones that could potentially cause things to not work, which my code made problems with. So you can obviously just know, if you filled out this document, it will be able to understand these ahead of time and hopefully prevent that. But honestly, it didn't really cause any issues. It was just a prompting back and forth until it got it correct. And ultimately, the goal is for you to be able to generate content in a really easy manner on content that is already being successful. Now, when I say generate content, this doesn't mean you get it to take a post and then recreate it in your own style using your own brand, copywriting skill, whatever other skills you've got around there, as it probably won't work that well. Ultimately, you'll need to get it to give you suggestions, and then you'll need to rewrite it towards what actually is a vulnerable story for you, a situation, a scenario, an actual real life event that affects you, or something that is actually relevant towards your target market. That is the LinkedIn content farmer with the self-evolving brain. I hope this has been helpful. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions in the comments. You can contact me directly if you prefer. Otherwise, yeah, super excited to share this, and hopefully it will help you with marketing your products or services online and keeping up to date with the ever expanding online world that we are now fully expected to be part of if we want to be successful in our chosen fields. I wish you a wonderful day. Have a lovely cup of coffee. I'm going to go catch some waves.